Hi. This is your inner child speaking. Thanks for being a little more compassionate to me every day. In this Lux Saigon episode, Nick and Carla chat about compassion, and they even spontaneously break into a compassion meditation. Enjoy and Merry Christmas, Mother Flowers!
Two, one. Yo guys, what's up? I'm here with Carla on the Lux Saigon podcast. And I think this is maybe our third or fourth time, I think, right, Carla? Third time. Nice.
Third time's the charm.
Yes, exactly. Nice. And the purpose of today's call is compassion.
First of all, it is so good to see your face, my
Thank
friend.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Did I look any different than before?
I just see you as a soul, and the you talk about compassion and the kindness and the natural beauty that you radiate as a soul. And I've loved you from the first time I met you. You know,
Thank you.
because of that. And thank you. That's what, okay. So that's why I wanted you to immediately start recording. So I went to bed last night and you asked me about compassion. I thought about it while we were on for a second, and then I fell fast asleep. Slept very well. Woke up this morning, and the first thing that comes to me is turkey.
Turkey.
And I think, turkey. And so turkey to me is the giveaway, right? From learning from the tracing my culture and trying to reconnect with that part of it. And so anyway, I started contemplating, and these downloads just keep coming about turkey. And I went to one of my reference books, and I'd like to read a little poem that says, "Ho, brother turkey, so freely you give of everything you are, so others may truly live. Is that not compassion?" It just the word ho, the breath. Your breath is freely given. We take it in.
Right. We're giving every time we breathe out. Wow.
The reciprocal exchange of compassion that's happening within our universe, ourselves of every moment. It's the energy that, I say energy for lack of better words, but the colors. They talk about the chakras and the different colors. Well, I had a vision during one of my spiritual experiences that everybody, I saw like a concentrated area, like a city, and every person was emanating a different color, like rainbows straight up.
Whoa.
And then, not to get so far into I don't want to go on a negative path, but I also saw the counterbalance of that, and of, again, lack of better words, this is my interpretation of a spiritual vision, which is how the world gets messed up. So I'm going to try to stay as true as I can to it. A darker energy or force harvesting that energy. Okay. So anyway, to get back to centeredness, which is kind of also ironic about that, it came up this morning how in America, self-centered is such a negative connotation.
Yeah.
And how how a self-centered, it's not in the way that they are putting out with those words and that connotation. I don't know if that's the right word. To center yourself,
Right.
so you may freely give,
Right.
right? And
And
so I was all, go ahead. Sorry, do you have some?
like, do you think in the West when people say self-centered, they're talking about a different self, but but they're not even aware of that though?
It's selfishness, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's, I believe, how it's become,
Right.
uh, murked up. But to center yourself, and so I've lost the vibe of the but selfish. It is it selfish for a baby to cry?
No way.
Because and a baby cries because it needs something. It has
Right.
a want, a need, not even a
Ooh.
want. It's
Oof.
and
That's deep.
passion is, what do you do when a baby cries? You give it you give
Right.
it mind, you give it love,
Yeah.
you give it compassion. Oh, Baba, oh, Baba, you pat
Oof.
its little body, and you do the heartbeat
Yep.
on its, you know. And if you want to calm it down, you go down. And if you want to raise it up, you raise it up.
Wow. This actually is totally relevant to like being compassionate
Compassion
to adults
in your
because
ourselves.
and to
Go ahead.
ourselves. Exactly. Yeah, and to ourselves because like let's say an adult or even ourselves, like we're getting emotional and acting up and throwing a tantrum. It's just like our inner baby is crying.
And it's not getting its needs or wants met.
Exactly.
And
Dang.
that's society as a whole. You know what I mean? And I know that there's a movement and things are changing, and it's beautiful and it's wonderful. But another thing that came to me this morning is the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
The universe, the mirror, the reflection, to be, like we've talked about, like that observer, to clear enough out of the past life stuff, the things that are passed down through our blood. People can
Mm.
say it's hocus pocus woo woo. It's not. It's just not.
Right.
Our lymphatic system, our bones. And then again, it brings me back to our body being compassionate to us
Yeah.
as we do things that we know aren't good for our body. Drink coffee, whatever your thing is, smoking cigarette, drugs, whatever it is for each individual person. Do your bones stop healing because, or you damage it, but it's still trying. It's still regenerating.
True.
It's trying to undo the damage
True.
without it asking for anything in return.
True.
Okay, that brings me back to one of my notes I wrote this morning. It says to act and react on the behalf of others, to aspire to help. It's the aspiration again. Oh,
Mm.
you're to I don't want to say a higher level of understanding for ourselves, for each other, for every breath that we take. How many times do we breathe in a day? How many times do we forget to breathe? How many times do we say a ho? Thank you. Thank you, body. Thank you
Right.
for an infinitude of multitude of things I could say thank you for, that I
Right.
can touch and feel and share a look or a smile, or it's
Mm.
just so much. So so I want to look at my notes real quick here, and there's just a few things.
And like I want to tell you the
Oh,
reason why I chose to talk about compassion with you today is because I've been practicing, or I just learned about this thing called the 6 phase meditation. And the first phase is compassion, actually. And the way that this meditation works in the first phase is that, so like you go into a meditative state and you imagine that you see someone that you really care about, someone that you love, like somebody in your family or your best friend, even your pet. You imagine this person, and then you feel what feeling that triggers inside of you, like the feeling of love, or right, like let's call it love for
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And then they'll say, okay, now give this feeling a color of your choice. It could
Green.
be, okay, so let's say it's green. Like, so you feel like this green color is now is like coming out of your, like, let's say your heart center. Then the next, you keep breathing, inhale, exhale, and when you exhale, now this color is expanding. Now it's kind of like a bubble where it's engulfing you and that person that you care about. So you're both within this bubble, and this bubble of just like love energy. And as you keep meditating, you inhale, exhale, and now this bubble keeps expanding. Now it's the whole room. Now you're the whole room that you're in is in this love energy. And you continue. You inhale, exhale. Now it's the whole building that you're in. The whole building has this energy. I feel my fingers tingling right now. This is really weird. I've never
Yeah.
experienced it before. And you continue. You inhale,
Yeah.
exhale. Now it's your whole neighborhood. Your whole neighborhood is in this energy. This feels really magical right now. And we continue. Inhale, exhale. Now it's your whole city. Your whole city is in this vibe. And we continue a little more. Inhale, exhale. Now it's your whole country, wherever you live, wherever that is. For me, it's Vietnam right now. So I just
Yeah.
imagine Vietnam in this big bubble of love. And one more time, we inhale, exhale, and it's the whole planet. Now the whole globe is in this vibe. And now we've completed phase one, which is compassion.
And that's it. That's, I said green, but when you were doing that, every time you did it, a different color came.
Wow.
And when you said, "Oh, the whole Vietnam," uh, uh, when you said all of Vietnam and went yellow, I saw a white aura kind of behind you at first, and then my mind said green heart,
Cool.
and then I saw it. Then it goes to just the different colors, which goes back to the rainbow, which goes back to
Right.
prophecy or wisdoms. I don't even like the word prophecy anymore, but
Mm-mm.
it's the spirit of giving.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not taking.
Right.
What we doing? We're lifting other people up.
Exactly.
That's, lack of a better word, that's God's hands on all, of all beyond even the earth, into the light from the stars
Right.
and the sun, and they
Yeah.
again they freely give.
Right.
So
That's true.
even if a dog has been badly beaten by its owner, it still comes back and will still warn if danger's approaching, and is
True.
still, so it's teaching that counterbalance of anger. It's still teaching that human, that soul, about itself through its own soul, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
for sure.
reflection.
That's compassion. It's an unabiding gift. It's and it can be anything. It could be making eye contact with somebody. It can be a shared conversation. It can be just the breath that you take to say thank you. Oh, going back to that, when I was looking at after that poem, it starts off, oh, and of course, we talked about the breath and stuff, but I was again going to the Western, and what do we think about when we think ho? We think, oh, you're a slut, you're a hot,
True.
negative connotation, right?
Yeah.
And so I looked it up, and that's what it said in the Western side was, I can't even read. It's a derogatory or informal way.
Yeah.
And it's complete opposite of breath or how our ancestors used it as a thank you. That's
Uh-huh.
what it
Uh-huh.
means. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the gifts of who you are, the essence of who you are as a soul, not what you think you can do for somebody out of a religious guilt or a moral obligation. It's not that. It's it's what your natural gift. We are a
Mhm.
natural gift. And I think that's where it goes back to the past life stuff. And what's going on right now is when people are so busy doing what they do, how much time do you have to reflect? You know,
Mhm.
we busy the mind, busy the hands. And then when we do it, is it of a, in a health, let's just say healthy way, is it,
Mm.
you know? And then I think we find, these moments of compassion in that. I don't drink anymore or anything, but I go down to the bar just to connect.
Mhm.
I live alone, so I'll go down there, um, and sometimes it's, in lack of better words, selfishly for my own. Like I need human companion, human
Yeah, of
interaction.
course. Yeah, I
You
feel
know,
you for sure. Me too.
but then I get there and it's not even about me. It's never about me ever.
Mm.
And that's the true essence of compassion is who you are as a soul and being completely authentic to that without the voice saying, oh, you look like a weirdo, or oh, you can't touch people because that's the way society is. You know how many people I touch every day that, yeah, I may get a weird look, and then as soon as they see me they say, do I know you? I'm not joking. They keep saying, and it's always after this, and it's because they can see who I am as a soul, not this body that's coming up to them. They can feel that there's no harm.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
They feel those vibes.
Back to Ho. I didn't finish this. I know you laugh, but you go. I looked up the etymology, and it came up gung ho. I thought, so it says to work together or cooperate.
Yeah.
It was a motto slang in 1942 from the Vietnam War,
Uh-huh.
and it was a guerrilla warfare or World War II, sorry, a guerrilla warfare tactic, and that's what say gung ho. But the base word is Chinese kung ho, and it's an where is it? Yeah, and same work together. It's just all and it's how we talk about how the words are changed and how we are saying things that we don't even know what we're saying.
That's so true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with and that's where I think we go back to that simpler breath.
Mm.
It's
Speaking of
the yeah, yeah.
speaking of those words that we usually say and we don't know what it actually means, I feel like the most common word like that is education. Because like if you check the etymology of educate, it actually means to draw out, like to draw out what's already there, like not to install something. It's to bring out the wisdom you already have.
That
But we think educate means to cram someone's mind with extra information.
Well, when you say that, I see both ways. Like I said, the balance and counterbalance. Because how do you program something? If you draw out its true essence, then it's open to be molded. I posted something the other day that, they said they did a study of, they say that all kids are geniuses.
Exactly. I
So
work with them every day. It's true.
I know you do, Nick. I
And
do.
actually, and not even kids, even babies. I I hung out with a baby like 2 weeks ago, and it was surprising. Like I could see her learning in real time. I could see how she would grab an orange, rip it apart, smell it, like listen to it. Like I could see how she was learning so fast. So then I,
And that's the giveaway. I just think of the sweet nectar of an orange. Does the orange ask to smell good, or you know what I mean? And then that's
right.
like a natural antidepressant. And then you just the smell of the nectar of an just the smell, your senses. And again, it goes to just I don't know if I'm explaining it properly, but the essence of everything, not just who we are as a soul, but knowing, I was thinking about like how a sheep, they take the hair
Hmm.
or the skin even, and it gives its body for that hide to warm another,
True.
right?
True.
And you can do that in you could take it and do it in an unbalanced way.
True.
Or, and even at that, does it judge? Does the sheep judge you? Its soul? Does it? Because you took, no, it made your house. It gave you a blank, or the duck's feather. And then that the art of the soul that put it together and stitched it into a blanket to keep us warm.
Hmm.
It's just the unconditional, reciprocal, unabated oneness of all and the natural cycle of things. And my point of all this is, as a culture here where I see that we're so far disconnected, we don't know who we are. We don't know where we came from. We're searching for all these answers in these things. And it's like my prayer partner, Silver Crow, says, it's simple.
Mm.
It's who you are as a soul. And some of the most profound wisdoms that I've come across through this is it's so simple. It's the smile.
Right.
It's
It's
the
so
vibe
simple.
that is so simple. And 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 going back to the physical body, instead of giving away the things that don't serve us, we store them, and then they turn into hatreds and resentments, and then we don't understand why our children are cursed with all these things.
Yep.
It's the hate in your heart,
Mm. Right. It's
you
been
know
passed on.
and to not honor your own body.
Right.
And 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 that takes me back to, that's what life, honor, sacrifice, but not in a self-sacrificing way, vulnerability and strength,
Mm.
the balance between honor and sacrifice, right? True sacrifice isn't in a negative way, like what people say, oh, like sacrificing goat or weird shit, it's
Exactly. It also like I know like you used the word soul like a few minutes ago, and I know like some people immediately will be like, no, no, but I don't believe in any religion. I don't, but we're not even talking about religions.
like I've said 13 times since we've been on this, for lack of better word, I don't claim
Yeah,
to be educated in every and that's what I found, through all of these studies. I get like a little bit, like, almost judgment if I say God, or if we talk about,
exactly.
yeah. And so now when I start talking about, I say God, Great Spirit, Source, Creator, Light, the highest high, whatever you call it, it's still the
Yeah.
same thing. It's
Yeah.
that, like you were saying, it's that collective energy and it's tuning into that. How do you do that? You close your eyes, you be still, and you breathe. Oh, to all my relations. That's to all my relations. That's the seen and unseen. Because I can guarantee you, from what I've witnessed, there are worlds within worlds within worlds. Just as the interconnectedness of the veins on the back of a piece of kale and the rainbow, the water when you're washing a piece of kale, the water droplets that are coming down, those veins of the interconnectedness that is growing to feed you. It's growing not for itself, you know,
Right.
and
It's growing to be
so,
consumed by you.
and that's turkey medicine. You know, they in American Native time, or I know it goes further, but from what my knowledge of it is that's what turkey's about. That's what truth, and it's just so funny. It's right before Thanksgiving, and I'm
Right.
not. I already had my Thanksgiving celebration with my friends, so it wasn't even on my radar. You right? So again, I think that might be a collective. You know, people are, oh, Thanksgiving's coming, and then turkey. The true essence of it is the giveaway, and they considered people that hoarded things selfish or crazy. They did. And hold on, I have something about that. They say that turkey medicine is the person who gives away the most and carries the burdens of the people is the most respected. Turkey is the medicine of many saints and mystics, and their virtues are many. What you do for others, you do for yourself and the whole.
Right.
Knowing great spirit resides within all.
Right.
Turkey medicine rests in true ego and in enlightenment. The message of all true spiritual systems, the spirit of giving, and that grows. That's not a takeaway. That's a giveaway. Oh.
Yeah, it feels like when we give, it's coming from abundance. Which makes sense now why
Abundance of
somebody it's like it makes sense why somebody would think hoarding is crazy. It's like why are you hoarding? There's already enough for everyone.
But that's where the needs and wants haven't been met. And these things are
Right.
stored. We don't know how to release it or give it away. And that's where that, like I don't know why negative counterbalance keeps coming in, but it's kind of like, oh, our friend Owen said, you know, about the pendulums and stuff that, you know, and that's, you know, and then another in the spiritual community, they talk about service to self or service to others. No, again, I feel like that's one or the other.
Right.
That's that self-centeredness in a balanced way to receive the gifts and abundance of what is of all truly within yourself to replenish and we're completely regenerated and replenished. And I know this from kinesiology and physiology physiology that it was one thing that stuck out to me 20 years ago is that they say that your bones regenerate every 7 years. Okay, so well, how can I said, how is that? You know, I asked the instructor, I said, how is that true? Because if you take an x-ray or something, you could still see see the fracture. But it's that it's just a scar. Right? So they're not saying that it didn't leave a mark, you know?
Right.
So I just think that that's interesting. And then like how people are trying to, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't, you know, I think we need to take responsibility or accountability of ourselves, and working on and finding out in our bodies, when you're starting to get irritable, or, and I am guilty of it. Guilty is not the right word. I have seen, just as quick as yesterday, how me not caring for myself turned into an anxiety or a frustration within my body, and then it lashed out as on a salesperson. And but I was able, the growth in that, even though I still made a mistake, lack of a better word, it was a lesson. It was like, I saw it, it's not something I do all the time. And I said, oh, that's been, and I made an active, concerted effort to, when I needed a friend, I reached out to a friend, and prayed. And then the next prayer point, and I prayed. And then I went and I received the abundance of the water, the water the life water that is freely given to wash away yesterday, or the past, that minute. We have abundance of medicines. We have abundance of energy. We have abundance of people. It's all about the web of life and the interconnectedness of who we are as a soul, and sharing our gifts. That's compassion. That is love. To know that you are a whole person. You are a whole soul. Another poem, I don't know where it came from, but they were talking about men and women love. And it's a common, two halves make a whole.
Right.
And it says, no, two wholes, when they come together, that is beauty, that is love.
Right.
And I think the passion is seeing the again, lack of better word, the stillness or the stuckness in another, not just person, you know what I mean? The trampled plant, the neglected animal, the sad vet at the bar that's having nightmares. It's the touch of a hand. It could be as simple or as great as you want it to be. That's compassion, and it's sharing, and it's connection, and it's connection. And I think it's just very regular for our society today because we've been so hurt in this, and we stored it and didn't let it go because we didn't have the medicine, because the medicine was cut off because of the way, that the repression of wisdom. The last 2,000 years, not to go male or female, but it's been a male hierarchy. So they've, just as, with different cultures, they've also enslaved women. So then in the 50s, and I was told this by a Lakota medicine woman back in the 90s. So it's not my own, I want to give her props. She said for the next 2,000 years, it's feminine. So we're just right here in the 50s. And you see all of these cultures that have been repressed as far as, and enslaved and taken away, and genocide and all the things. And then right now it's everybody, it's like, okay, it's like a boing. If you've been repressed for so long, it's a natural thing that it's going to come out angry. Excuse my words, but that's why, like when the women, you see women wearing pussy ass, and then like the Trump stuff and all that stuff, and the gay people come in, you know what I mean? And all the culture, the natives, we want our land back. It's everywhere. Okay. And so, but the chaos is part of it. It's just beginning. Everyone thinks it's the end of the world. Nah, it's just the end of an old cycle,
Right.
and that was necessary to again mirror And so it's got to boing up and, and get a little chaos.
Right, yeah.
But
It's
that's
part of it's
how,
like it's balancing out, but this is like this is the
counterbalance.
effect.
Yeah.
It's like cause and effect, right? Like people have been like pushed down for so long that now they're bouncing back up, but it's like we're still in this like balancing out phase, and it's still in progress.
So compassion for ourselves, compassion for others,
Mm-hmm.
simplicity. If you can't do the big stuff yet, you know, just start with something small. Like I said, eye
Right.
contact,
Right.
a smile when you feel like crap.
Mm-hmm. I feel like compassion is what's gonna help this like balance to get balanced out, I guess, more efficiently or however you want to say it. I don't want to say faster, but maybe more efficiently.
Self-centered in a good way,
Right.
you know. And I think that's where the work comes in, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't mean work in a bad way, but work. Actually, I don't like that word either. But that's where the medicine comes in of all of these the experiences of what we're having and why we can discern now and different, why things are so much more in our faces, the universal mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Carla, so we have about 4 minutes left, and I really want to ask you this before I forget. First, like my first question is how how can we describe chakras to people that like are just starting out in spirituality, and also how can compassion help us to heal our chakras?
Oh, just what we've talked about the whole time is how can first question first. Go to the first one. What was it again?
Yeah, just like how can we explain chakras to people that are new to that topic?
In 4 minutes.
Like an elevator pitch, just like a real quick.
The center to connect with your body. I know because I was. God will show you.
Mm-hmm.
But to make it for, again, lack of a better word, layman's terms, from what I understand it to be, is these power centers in your body, your heart, your mind, the God light that comes in what they call, I think, the crown. Because I don't study, I just know what I know. And then your power center, when people say, "Oh, it feels like I've been punched in the gut," or
Mm-hmm.
they're all, being in contact with that's how I would start for people that don't know, is not even care about what a chakra is, but to
Right.
just find out where, if it's anxiety or
Yeah.
powerlessness, or find out where it sits in your body, and you address it. You greet it at the door, you invite it in, and you set
Right.
boundaries with
Mm-hmm. And you don't judge it,
that.
right?
That's, yeah, I mean, but it's all layers, and everybody's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
at their own way and understand in their own way. So what was the second question? Do we have minutes?
Yeah. Before we do that, I want to also give my I'll try to explain it my way too, which is like I think the chakras are a metaphor for the nervous system, and like it's teaching you how to heal yourself, like how to heal all your internal fears, which is like your nervous system trying to protect you from danger and stuff. But yeah, we have a minute 30 if you want to continue.
And your breath. Do you want to talk about simplicity? If you want to heal your chakras, you take a breath and say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And 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 truly mean it.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like, even if like I said, it doesn't have to be this great thing. It's simple. You can just simply say thank you for returning my soul to me. That's what I do when I first wake up. That's what I try to implement.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no guarantee I'm to wake up or that my soul is
True.
going to animate this body today.
True.
And so it's like, thank you for this breath of life and the spark to do it again today and to be refined and and to go through these lessons in life so that we can be who we are as souls and share that beauty and love with
Yeah.
the whole.
It's like, thank you for letting me share a little bit more.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carla. And this chat is gonna close pretty soon, so I think we'll just close it off with this. Thanks so much, Carla.
Thank you. Thank it all. All. Hey! Hey!
Oh,
Hey!
oh,
Oh!
yes.
Oh! I love it.
It's you, Carla.
Love you, brother.
Take care. I love you too.